Howdy. Well, the music's nice and quiet today, and as I do my walk, so I thought, why not drop in, say hi, and take a walk with me if you like. It's, as usual, pretty late in America, but I was feeling good, you know, feeling peppy, so I thought it's a good time to say hi. And just got my hair cut. It's probably a bit too short, but hopefully it looks nice enough on camera and such. Anyway, yeah, if anyone's dropping in saying hi, oh, we have someone here. Oh, it's Time Lord Gina. Hello, Gina. And jeez, my eyesight's terrible. Liam Evans as well, saying hey. Yeah, and it's Kathleen. How you doing, Kathleen? Hope I haven't got you guys up too late. Hey, Jack. Hey, Super Metroid. Hello again. Teehee Hopia. Howdy to you too. And it's Ali. And it's Random Emo Otaku Girl. How you doing? I'm quite alright, thanks, Loki. Just a nice quiet day, just visiting family and stuff, catching up on a few errands and stuff. Just got the team and myself just sort of working a bit on worst and best SpongeBob specials. Hopefully it should be a fun one. Let's see, and also I've got, I'm working with Toonga and my friends Taylor and Nero on what was it? It was worst to best Sony animated movies, which should be an interesting one. I've been wanting to do that probably for about a year now, and it's the modern Sony animated movies, so basically anything over 2013. So we'll cover stuff that I've always wanted to cover, like Hotel Transylvania 2 and 3. I'm actually quite a fan of those. Some of the best I think of Sony's done. Anyway, it's Medicine Monday. Hello. You got a haircut. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I like to keep looking kind of neat. I don't think neat is the look nowadays, you know, because but I like to be clean shaven and stuff, but I don't know, I see a lot of YouTubers with beards and stuff, but I don't like it. It's awful to me. But I guess I'm a bit older than a lot of the YouTubers, so it's just more my thing. Have you seen The Maiden Man? Mandalorians? No, I haven't yet, but I just know the Mandalorians, Time Lord Gina from Knights of the Old Republic, so I do know their story and crazy ass kind of backstory they've got behind them. Midnight for you, 8:50 for me. What mall is this? Squidward Tentacles. This is Chermside, which is one of the biggest malls actually in Australia. I went to the other mall in Sydney that was the only bigger mall, and it wasn't a very nice one. This one's lovely. It's got lots of Christmas stuff on it. Baby Yoda seems to be the hook for the man. Really? Yoda isn't, that's hard to imagine, you know? You kind of always expect he was old and wise. I just learned that you're Australian, lol. Yes, I am Jumbo Pop TV. Is anyone looking forward to the, new SpongeBob game, by the way? I would really love to do worst to best SpongeBob games, since I don't think any of them are outright terrible that I've seen. I'd love to do one where basically I cover worst to best. I might even ask James Rolfe if he'd be. He probably won't be. I've never actually reached out to him before, but I would love to have him on board for that. And I feel it's kind of suitable for him. So if I do chat with him and he's interested, you'll see a feat ABGN on it. But if not, it'll just be me. But it should be interesting either way. What are your thoughts on the Rise of Skywalker? Super Metroid. Why is it so damn loud over here? Rise of Skywalker, well, all we've seen so far is the trailers. Flying Dutchman game's horrible. I like the trailers, as I mentioned. I do like the fact that potentially Palpatine's coming back. That's a real hook for it, I think. I'm curious where that's going to go. Any plans for Christmas? Not too much, to be honest, Teehee Hopia. I might go down and see Robin and Brendan, depending on the timing. Wow, that's going to be so expensive. It's going to be so busy then at the airport, so I probably won't bother. I'll probably see them afterwards when it's a bit quieter. They'll probably be super busy at work. You and Guru Larry should do a game crossover. Should be quite fun to see. Guru Larry, I haven't heard of him. Honestly, I don't look at that many gamers on YouTube. There's a lot of them. And I'm kind of old-fashioned and mainly just watched AVGN back in the day. And I know he's a nice, respectable guy, and always liked his... I wasn't quite as fond when he was just swear. Because I was there at the very beginning, actually, when he first started 15 years ago, and he's mellowed a lot of it, and I've mellowed too, actually, but, we tend to mellow out a bit, but, no, I might actually see if he's interested. Do you have any weird, stupid fears as a kid? Mine was a mid-90s ABC for kids promo. Yeah, I remember, this is the really stupid one, but it actually comes from ABC, Kathleen. And that was that I used to be really creeped out by the off-air ABC symbol. When ABC was off the air and the creepy music they'd play. You just have stupid stuff you're scared of, like back then. And the dragon in the hallway, which was this stupid ass thing that, I'm sorry, I'm bad on my language today. I shouldn't be saying ass. Oh, ass is okay. Bender says ass. But yeah, like little paper mache dragon I used to be scared of that was hiding in the hallway. Anyway, Lucy's Amazing Family Life says, bushfires, wildfires, I swear one of these days all the countries that are made of fires are going to have a baby. What's the name of that country? Flamesville. Yeah, it's been fires all over Australia. Well, certainly in Brisbane, we've had a few. My grandma was just saying today, I was visiting, that she was getting a bit of a cough actually from the amount of smoke we were getting. And my energy's been a bit lower the last couple of days, and maybe that's it. I'm spoiled by all the fresh air here and the forests and stuff, but that could be it. Why are there so many Christmas decorations? Well, we start early here, and I don't mind. I honestly don't mind, because I like to see, just get people getting in the festive spirit, when just having a rough day or something like that. It's good to have something to look forward to, so I actually don't mind that they start in November. It's pretty much straight after Halloween. I mean, for them it encourages them to get into, encourages people to buy stuff. But, it's nice, doesn't matter what you enjoy something for, in my opinion, as long as you get something out of it. Villager Blocky says, how's Australia? And Teehee says, how's your day going? Australia's good at the moment, as I mentioned, a lot of block fires, bushfires. I'm doing okay. I've lost all my energy the last couple of days. I don't really know why. I'm just helping the team sort of get started and directed, and worst and best SpongeBob specials and stuff. When they just I helped Jem through his scripts last couple of days. Not really, our scripts more, because obviously I was going through editing, tweaking everything, and getting my own words. And I've kind of combined both our perspectives and philosophies with worst and best SpongeBob specials. He originally had a #1 choice that was different to mine, and you'll see that in the video. I put his instead at #2, and I'm relatively confident with what I chose in the end, though I think all the specials we chose for best were good and potentially good for #1. Anyway, I lost my place, sorry, and sorry Medicine, I missed your message there because it just went by too fast, but I missed a lot of messages and I apologize for that. Can I send you a Christmas gift? Well, oh, thank you, Albatross. That's nice of you to offer, but postage is horribly expensive here. Welcome to use my P.O. Box, which is in my videos, P.O. Box 268, Aspley, Queensland, 4034 Australia. But certainly no obligation, but thank you very much for the offer. Gaming, don't count your evil spirits, but late 80s, 90s Deke Knight logo scares me as a kid. That was a bit creepy, wasn't it, Puffin? I vaguely remember that one. Out of curiosity, who's your favorite YouTuber? I don't really have a favorite that I can think off the top of my head. As I mentioned before, right now I'm really enjoying Real Gems. I like his Simpsons reviews. I've been tuned into, recently actually I've been watching Dan's animation channel, which is basically Dan from Extra Credits after he left. It was the thing I liked best about Extra Credits, and the writing was much more grounded and much more, community focused back then. And so, but he's a big animator, and he moved to his own channel and started sort of looking at animation, because he's been animating before. I think he's animation from Pixar. He's really awesome. Oh yeah, thank you, Mad Dame Crystal. Yeah, it has, certainly safe for myself. Any pets? Ask Music Muse. Well, anyone who's tuned into my live streams before probably knows that I have had pets. Probably says a lot about me, actually. So I had five mice. One was squished under a bin. One died of starvation. Before it died of starvation, it ate the other mouse out of pure hunger. The other one was flushed down the toilet. The other one was eaten by a cat. I had a guinea pig. It was squished under a fence after it was, got out in the rain. I love that guinea pig. Steve, I called him. Steve the guinea pig. Then I had Watson the guinea pig. He was eaten by the cat, I think, again. Then we got rid of that cat after it ate the guinea pig, so we had 0 pets for a while. Then we got another cat. That cat ran away with Chubby Chops the cat. By this point I think I'm 12, about 9. Then we had a dog that was, that jumped on my stepbrothers when they were very young, so we got rid of that. Then I had something else as well. So we've gone through the cats. Oh yeah. Gabby was lovely, but we also had birds. Aquarian flew away. What was he? Charlie Barley. He flew away. I'm sorry, I'm just digging telling you my stories about all my dead pets. Or run away. Maybe one of my pets went on to live good lives. I don't know. There was a lovely parrot we had called P. Mooney. He also snapped his neck. Sorry to get graphic, but yeah, there was a big bird and he had his neck out. He loved to stick his neck out. Anyway, let's not get too graphic. Also had another one. We loved long-billed corellas, beautiful animals. That gave that one away. Now, I lost another bird. Yeah, that bird died of weakness. I don't know, that bird had polio or something. I don't know. I took him in for his... I took him to the pet. I took him to the vinyl vet. Also took Maxine. God, this is a downer, isn't it? You guys don't want to hear this. Anyway, I've had lots of pets that die. But the time I had with them was lovely, so I appreciated the time we had together. And also, did I get a haircut? Yes, I did. I did get a haircut. Yes, it was... I really like the guy I've got right now, Bri. He's absolutely lovely. I know it's a dumb question, but do you remember Liftoff? I sure do, Kathleen. Go on and lift off. I had that in Creepiest Kids characters, I think it was, from kid shows. I don't know, I did that. It was like one of my first collaborations with George, where I brought him on board, and we talked about, I think, EC, who was sort of like a creepy mannequin. I never found him that creepy, to be honest, because of his size. If EC had been like 10 feet tall, he would have been like a horror monster, but he was alright. I'm super excited for future videos. Oh, thank you, Albert Trap. I think there's going to be a bit of SpongeBob, I think, over the next 2 months. What's the song you can never seem to stop singing? Well, now that I've remembered Liftoff, I've got Go On and Lift Off. Oh, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. But whenever I need to get a song out of my head, I'll just start humming to myself. Because the way to get a song out of your head is just to replace it with another song. So I'll go, jump, jump, down, jump, jump, down. That song is so easy to get stuck in your head in place, so I use that one. If I'm not too late, I need to turn on notifications. Love your videos so much. Thank you for being entertaining and family friendly. Well, thank you, Zachary. I just try to be me. Make something that's pleasant. Let's see. What was I going to say to that? Anyway. I don't know. You don't necessarily need to be notified for Livestrider. I post a lot of just random stuff that not everyone's interested in. Like, I'll do another cooking video, I think. I did that Twitter feed to see if anyone actually wanted me to post another one. Apparently a lot of people enjoyed it, so I'll do that again. I get it. I get up, but nothing gets me down. I don't know what song you're thinking of, Medicine Monday. You'll have to give me another clue. Coco asks, I have to go to bed. It's 4 a.m. in America. Yeah, it's like 5 a.m. somewhere in America, in a lot of places in America, so I definitely get that. See you later, Coco. What exactly do you do that help you with YouTube burnout? Meditation really helps me, MBC, also talking to other people who are going through it. Right now, YouTube's actually changed their tactics. They've trying to offer more like YouTube retreats and stuff, because they found they are getting a big jump of burnouts in the last year and a half. It's just been a huge burnout increase. So they're getting these retreats basically because originally all the sort of get together, because YouTube, if you're in with certain like either like a representative or something, and they have like these YouTube get-togethers where they bring marketers together and say how you can improve your YouTube channel. And I don't like them because I don't think anyone has the goddamn answers, and I think half the people who get to these positions aren't qualified, because so much of where I am, who I am, and what I do is luck, and just having the right idea at the right time. So much of it is topical, and anyway, it's hard to respect some of the YouTube community sometimes, so I don't want advice from some of these people, particularly, anyway, but what they're doing now is much better because they're offering like YouTube retreats and stuff to try and minimize burnout and exchange ideas. Are you a cat person? Asked Fishy Lemon Dude. I'm more a cat person than a dog person, Fishy. I like the kitties. My friend Ming, best friend Ming, actually has actually that cat called Bean on that video you saw. That's the nicest cat I've ever seen. It's pretty much the only cat I've ever found that doesn't, stare at you and go die. It's just lovely. Called Lily. Hey Josh, how you doing? Says Angry Mustache. What are your thoughts on Stranger Things Season 3? I pretty much tuned in for Season 1, but my main thoughts on it is that it's a very good thriller and sort of slash horror, but it's not too much about disempowerment, which I like. And I like that we're actually finally shedding some light on MK Ultra, which was a serious mess up for the CIA. Like, if you want to see violating human rights, you don't get worse than very rarely get worse than MK Ultra. So I'm glad we shed light on that. And honestly, why do you need to make up conspiracy theories when the CIA was already doing this crazy crap for like 30 years? Like, I just don't get it. Anyway, what is the next question? Have you ever seen Ratatouille? Oh, tons of times, yeah. Ask BlueCube056. I think anyone here could say Ratatouille is interesting because I agree with Jim's thoughts on it, in that it's almost perfect. Like, there's very few flaws in it and anything to make fun of there. I could have used a few more women in it, but all the characters are likable. A few characters could have got more screen time, but overall, one of my favorite Pixar movies. What's more interesting, a historic cinema or an abandoned forest? What do you mean by that? Is that what you're considering for your channel, Medicine? Because I liked that idea you said to me last time, the one with Shrek in it. I think I was looking at the differences in recycling. I can't remember, but that was a good idea at the time when I heard it. People make conspiracy theories to feel smarter because they are otherwise unremarkable. Well, yeah, that's true, Madame Christabel. And conspiracy theories are probably a defense mechanism to walk away from acknowledging the fact that we all live in a amoral universe where the only person who can decide morality is you and me, and no one's hands are on the wheel. Which is a pretty hard pill to swallow for even the most mature of adults sometimes. So that's why we all need to be upfront with each other and say we're here for each other, because it's scary sometimes, isn't it? But we don't need to run. We're all here for each other. See you later, Poppin. Tihi Hopia says, what are your thoughts on the new Addams Family movie? I haven't seen it, and was that Sony? Because I saw the trailer and I was so not interested. I was just like, it's kind of cute. Like, the Addams Family are a funny bunch because they're so embracing of their darkness, and there's nothing quite like them. In some ways, they started a trend in horror that but they don't try to fit in either. I don't feel like they quite captured that from what I see from the trailer. It certainly didn't interest me, but I think if I were to make a prediction, it's going to get some really bad reviews, just off the top of my head, but certainly will be interested to see if I'm proved wrong on that. Next video is a guest review of Psycho 2. Oh, okay. Yeah, alright, I'll catch you later then. Oh, wait, no, you're talking about that. Yeah, cool. Oh, Psycho 2, that should be interesting. Good on you, Medicine. What do you think about basketball? I don't know, I haven't seen him much, Super Metroid, Zach. I don't know, I don't do topical stuff, and that seems to be his bread and butter, is sort of focusing on the news and stuff, and I don't know, he certainly runs a very well-oiled channel and keeping constant content for you guys to enjoy, and good on him. As long as he's a good voice for it, and a nice guy. Favorite BoJack Horseman character? Blue Cube. Probably Princess Carolyn. I personally couldn't do what she did this season. Sort of spoilers alert for BoJack for the next 20 seconds. Probably Princess Carolyn, but I've really enjoyed that new season. Like, I love that the characters have found some peace, because it's easier for me to... I've learned so much from that series, and it's easier for me to imagine characters finding peace and some change when I see it in BoJack and when they present it to me, so I've really enjoyed that. Yeah. Have you heard of The Big Gig? Oh, what's that, Kathleen? Do you like Kung Fu Panda 3? I didn't tune into too much of that one, AJ. I did like the family coming back though, and Jack Black's always charming, so I'm sure it'd be fantastic. As fantastic as a DreamWorks second sequel is going to be. I don't have Disney Plus Alpha Trap, but I would love to hear people's thoughts on that, because a lot of my feed has been filling up with people's thoughts on Disney Plus, and isn't it like got a whole bunch of just tons of, it's like Netflix of Disney, and I would probably actually be interested in that given some of the lineup they were saying, and I was like, yeah, I could definitely do some. The majority of the time I'm watching Netflix is when I'm cooking or something like that, so I could definitely tune in for a few Disney shows as I'm cooking and stuff, and that'd be cool. Least favorite BoJack Horseman character in mine's Pickles. I'm not a big fan of Pickles either. I understand her character, fairly well, and she's just a person. I'm probably a generation off her, but she's fun. Probably Diane up to season 6. 1 to 2 I liked. 3, 4, and 5 particularly. She was just, I did not like her as a character and how she treated people and how hypocritical she was. But a lot of contention around that. People say, she's so realistic, that's why you hate her. I'm just no. I consider myself a SJW. I don't like people who use that term. I consider myself progressive, but Diane makes me feel less progressive. She is so harsh and cruel and nasty to people and hypocritical, and it's not like a representation of progressiveness I like to see. People should care, but they should not be obnoxious and horrible and judge others for it. Have you watched a pufferfish eating a carrot? No, I've never heard of a pufferfish eating a carrot, but it sounds like an odd sight. How's Pokemon Sword? Oh, good question, AJ. Yeah, so far it's good. Like the new graphic style. Didn't really like any of the starters that much. I think Robin ended up choosing the water one. I ended up choosing a frog tree one. That was frog grass one. It's pretty cool. Disney Plus, in my opinion, has better stuff than Netflix, but I am probably biased towards Marvel and Star Wars. Well, I'm biased towards those as well, so I don't watch much of Loud House, anymore, Big Wayne CEO. Nick Tendo's probably the best person. I think he does Loud House. I do a lot of referring to other cartoon critics. Sobble. Yeah, that was right. Thanks, Medicine Monday. Sobble's the water type that Robin chose. How do you feel about Season 3 of Gravity Falls airing in April? Wait, there's a new season? No. I guess they could come back from summer camp, but I wonder if they'll set it somewhere different. Big Gig is an Aussie comedy show from 1989 to 1991. Oh, okay. Oh, morning, Steph. How you doing? Okay, bye, creep, says Spencer. Oh, yeah, I am a bit of a creep, I suppose. I'll see ya. Realistic is, why don't you like a character? What? Okay, you obviously do like... Again, there's a lot of contention around that character. What an underrated Simpson episode. I think the one where Bart meets that older lady and they go on kind of like they're doing kind of their Pokemon Go craze. That was a really good one. It was given bad reviews, but I thought it was actually really nice the way they discussed old age and finding meaning and how we communicate with those who are old. It's just a really beautiful episode and shows sophistication of the writers. I don't think it's an episode that Family Guy could pull off. I bought Disney movies with Disney Plus, but they didn't have my favorite Disney movie, Dumbo. That's an interesting choice for your favorite. Love your vids so much. Do you think I love your content? Oh, thank you, Big Wayne from the ABC. Oh yeah. What are your thoughts on the new Blue's Clues host? Oh, Josh is fine. He's probably a much better host than me, to be honest. Like, he's got that charm and style, and he's different. He's not white, which is always a good thing in modern stuff. I'm not a good audience nowadays. There's probably too many white people for the last 50 years, so I definitely get that. But I'm sure that's not making up. He looks very charming and very kind, and honestly, I probably would have fallen apart in California, or whatever the hell it was. So good on Josh for getting it. Yes, I'm pretty sure it was announced. Barney the Dinosaur. Okay, Spencer. Favorite next show, Disney show, and Cartoon Network show? Oh, that's a big ask, isn't it, Bluey? What's yours? Favorite Disney show? Well, probably Star vs. the Force of Evil would be my favorite Disney, certainly Disney XD show. Do you like anime furries? Oh, I have no problem with them, nothing against them. I don't think I'm a furry myself, but I don't know. Locke A says, hey, it's Strider, howdy. I'm not shouting, I'm excited. Oh, it's okay, Locke. Howdy to you too. We have to do top 6 Invader Zim episodes. I just think there's too small a crowd for it, Ali. It's very niche, and I don't know, I don't have enough of interest in it probably anymore. I appreciated it at the time, but I was kind of underwhelmed by Enter the Florpus. What would your favorite episode be? Waffles is one of mine. What do you think of Lego games? Asks Emerald Wolf. I think some of the best creativity comes out in Lego games. It's a place where you don't think there'd be much room for creativity, but somehow it actually... I particularly saw that with the Lego movies, that you get more creativity when you have such limited scope of what you can do, when everything has to be in Lego. So I really like them myself. I very rarely forget Lego games when I play them. I even remember Lego Harry Potter and Lego Star Wars Episode 1. Do you have any tips for any of the newer cartoon YouTubers? I would really like to make videos in similar vein to you, Walter Trappo4 Gaming. Honestly, the first thing to say is don't beat yourself up if you can't get... The problem is everyone wants to go in making money. Well, not everyone, no, that's not true. A lot of people go in with a passion, but they want really big... And I just went in hoping for like 500 people to talk about Futurama with me, and that's the way to start. Show you're passionate, show you care. Also, don't fill the first 5 minutes about how wonderful you are or who you are. People don't care when you first start. They just want to get to the content. Even now, 25% of my audience will drop out that clicks on my videos within the first 10 seconds. Get to the goddamn point. So that's something I would say, if you want a little hint on audience retention. But, you know, some people might be different to that. Maybe my voice just annoys 25% of people within 10 seconds. What's your favorite SpongeBob episode, season 1 to 3? Well, check out my best SpongeBob video for that, probably Toy Dominic. One of my favorites would probably be the swear one. That was really good. I talked about that one with Jem. Obviously, Bang Geek's really good too. Pizza Delivery was also really fantastic. Do you have a favorite Star vs. episode? You know, some of my favorites are actually in the first 10 episodes. Some of those were really good. Big fan of some of those, like one where... also when they go into uni later on, that's also really good. Probably not a favorite. Within the new South Park games, do you think there is time for a new South Park movie? I haven't seen one since Bigger, Longer, Uncut. You know, the funny thing is, Big Wayne CEO, I didn't like Bigger, Longer, Uncut that well. When it first came out, a lot of people were kind of sort of meh on it, but it's aged into this sort of classic, and I was like, do people not remember when they hated this movie? And I don't hate it, you know, it's got some really good artistic stuff and great songs and stuff, real intelligence and talent, but I didn't find it that good. I didn't find the story that good of Blame Canada and all that. It's sort of meh. But I was much younger when I saw it, but even then that should have affected me more. So yeah, it didn't leave much of an impact. I thought the Satan stuff and the Saddam Hussein stuff was pretty dated as well. Like that was just cheap, you know. A lot of it felt pretty cheap to me compared to some of the better episodes. So I don't know if that's blasphemy to say, but it was meh on the Longer Uncut movie. Disney, Gravity Falls, Cartoon Network, Foster Home for good choices, Bluey. Blue Cube. Hi Strider, here it is 6 a.m, says Jack. Well, I don't blame you if you want to get some sleep, Jack. Just prattling on, doing an evening walk. And once again, Spencer states, Barney the Dinosaur. Yeah, I don't even want to cut, like, you know, weirdly enough, I'm probably not going to cover, but there was a bunch of things I wanted to do before these new rules rolled out and things started to get a little bit dicey. Like, you probably heard about this. I don't know, would you guys be interested in hearing about this? I'll say a bit of it anyway, just a summary. A few of my videos originally got flagged with this new thing, like Darkest Kids Show episodes or Darkest Girls cartoons, and frankly I wouldn't want under 13s to see some of that content. You guys are my audience of 18 to 30, certainly not aimed at, like, I don't want to see Arjuna and deep critiques about darkness and deep topics about, you know, bulimia and dementia. Like, kids don't need to see that. But anyway, so yeah, there's a few topics like Darkest Elmo's World, the silliest video I probably would ever do, I really wanted to do. And because of these new rules, I don't know. I'm going to wait till 2020 and see how things fan out. If some of my videos automatically get flagged and I can't dispute them, which hasn't happened yet, you know, so far it's business as usual. And even then, the ones that did get flagged are only about 5% of my videos. I'd still go fine. But I might not make it if I'm like, oh, this is going to be flagged as inappropriate or whatever. No, too appropriate now. It's just inappropriate then, now it's too appropriate. And I'm very lucky I'm in the 18 to 30 demographic. Only under about 9% of my audience, maybe 10% is under 18, 13 to 18. And yeah, I'm happy though to have them because like gives them a bit of talking, a bit of critical thinking, and that's really important to me. Well, let's see. What do you think of Bob Ross? I know he does good discussions, like, and he has that happy accidents line. Yeah, some people have said, you know, when I do Let's Plays, similar tone to Bob Ross, very calm and quiet. And that's what I like to do, you know. You're the best ever. Oh, thank you, Jake and friends. Appreciate that. I try my best. Lego Star Wars is my favorite anime. 10 out of 10. Lego Star Wars. Yeah, I liked some of the Lego Star Wars movies. There were so many in Lego movies, worst and best, that I wanted to do, but I wanted to keep it to a top 6 list. So I had to cover some of the obvious ones, and I would have loved to cover more of those. Wartime seemed to poop on animation a lot. Well, the problem is that a lot of wartime animation was propaganda, so it was hard not to poop on itself. What's your favorite Christmas movies? I think Home Alone is a legend movie. Home Alone was alright. I don't know if it was a legend movie. I didn't think Macaulay Culkin was that great an actor. I mean, bless the guy. I'm sure he's fine, but yeah, I just was never really blown away by the movies. I remember them though. I remember 2 a lot for some reason. I most remember, to me, the idea that when I was a child of child abduction and stuff was pretty scary, so I actually found the movies quite unnerving. But you know, he got alright in the end. He destroyed himself more for a while. But he's doing better now. What are you going to do when the YouTube new rules come up? As I just mentioned, Gasper, it doesn't seem to be affecting my channel too much. It looks like I'll be okay. Even when my videos, YouTube recommended these videos might be not for kids, just specifically for kids. None of my videos are specifically for kids. They mostly just flag things like Darkest Kids shows episodes featuring Blame It on George, or Darkest Girls cartoons, which is mainly for the typo and the tags. They would see if they looked in it that there's no content really that is more looking at critical thinking of darker concepts and being open about it, which is not really direction. My videos are more about critical thinking and encouraging critical thinking in a calm way that does not appeal to the under 13. So yeah, I don't think I would inadvertently. The problem, I looked very carefully through, and I have a couple of times over the legislation, and every time I look at it, I'm like, no, I'm pretty safe. So I may not be as quick to make the next worst Peppa Pig episodes video. I really want to do horrifyingly bad Peppa Pig episodes, but I'm a little bit more cautious in Darkest episodes. But I'm going to hold off on those for a bit until January. I'll see you in the next stream. Okay, see you then, Super Metroid Zach. And I think I missed what a message on my rambling. Hi, Strader. What are your thoughts on video sharing site called Vlare? There's a couple of different video sites popping up right now. I'm wondering if some of them will fan out. There are going to be people who probably can't do their content with a reasonable profit ratio to be able to continue making content full time, like toy review channels and stuff. Like, there are going to be, the FTC is a small organization, and I don't think people realize quite how small it is, and that it's very unlikely the cartoon community will be targeted. Oh, it's my mom. Hello, Kate Marley. Thanks for mentioning that, Medicine. I missed my mom message. Oh, there she is. Hi, Strider. Will you do a video on the Upside Down show? I just mentioned it in Best Kids Shows because I didn't grow up with it, so I don't feel I'm qualified to give a really strong opinion on it. From what I saw, it was very creative, and I liked that the hosts were a lot like Steve. They were a bit mellow, but not too overbearing. And, you know, they didn't come off as obnoxiously kiddish, so I did quite like them. 10% on my phone. Gotta leave. Stay awesome. Josh, no worries. I'll see you later, Emerald Wolf. Hi, Strider. Will you do a video of the... Oh, wait, I just answered that one. Do you read comics, or do you in the past? Yeah, I do, actually. I read Garfield and Archie comics. I have this habit for the last 10, 15 years. I read Garfield comics before bed, so there you go. And Archie, I find it's so stupid half the time, but I like that it's very mellow and calming, and it eases my anxiety before bed. So there's a weird thing about me. I read Archie before bed. I'll see you all later. Take care. I'll see you, Big Wayne. Yeah, it's pretty late here, so I do understand if people have to drop out. Happy Fly Dirty Forever. Oh, hey, Steph. What's your thoughts on white YouTube poops and mashup? Well, there's an audience for them, isn't there? So, yeah, I'm fine with YouTube poops. Two people asking out at once. That's funny. What do you think of Summer Camp Island? I haven't seen that yet. Sorry, Twinkle Player. And it looks like I missed a donation. I apologize to the person who donated, and if I missed your question, I must have missed it, but thank you. The most recent YouTube poop I watched is the one about Ren Seeks Help. Oh, that's rough, Lucy. My condolences. I love Futurama comics, but they're next to impossible to find. Yeah, I mean, you'll always find your share of Simpsons comics, but Futurama's a bit harder to find. Oh, you retracted your message, man. Medicine Monday. I appreciate you being so thoughtful with what you say. Have you played Five Nights at Freddy's? Yes, I have, Rosie. That's a tough one. Like, I'm just so the wrong audience for it because I'm so prone to anxiety and fear and just panic and that sort of thing that I spent half my life trying to calm myself down from panic. So it's like when I purposely, it's such a potent one because like you're a security guard, you for some reason have chosen this job. You get the idea that the guy is actually, the security guard's kind of a thrill seeker because he will purposely on weekends, like I can't remember if he turns the gates off or something, or he's kind of a thrill seeker though, and just seems to get such a kick out of it. That's certainly not I would though. There's nothing fun I could really draw from it because it's so disempowering. And those faces, oh, I kind of like that kids somehow turn it into their heads into a thing where they've got fun plushies and stuff. They've kind of, it's funny how that reaches such a kid audience and hasn't traumatized more kids. Five Nights bad because too scary. Well, and that's kind of the thing, Autoboss, is I'm the wrong person to ask about Five Nights at Freddy's because I think it works too well. It is too disempowering, too unpleasant for me, and it's too potent to me. So, and for other people, it's just more a way to watch YouTubers scream at their cameras. So, whatever works for them. Thanks for picking my comment. Home Alone have fresh tomatoes of 65 and high score of 80. Yeah, that makes sense, Jolly Productions. So let me get this past as being devoid of host. Watching that particular cartoon episode, I think I actually figured out that the reason rating this psychopath is most likely PTSD. That's why I think, psychopath, the thing about that is that generally, I'm going to try not to get too technical, but like basically, psychopath is a lack of empathy. It's where your brain does not actually get that, that state of mind. You can't have that state of mind where you can imagine yourself in other people's shoes and feel that pain. Now, my mom might correct me on that a little bit, but basically that's it. They literally cannot feel things from they cannot feel the pain of others, and they can even take pleasure in it. And I personally believe it's something you're born with. You can kind of condition people to respond to pain, but it's you need a lot of CEOs like that and certain people that end up in jail. My sister says that a Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I disagree. I don't know what's so Christmas about it, Medicine. I keep hearing I think because it has Christmas lights in it or something. Like, having this in the camera does not make it a Christmas movie. I don't know, I like a movie that is considered a Christmas movie that isn't all about the Christmas spirit spiel. But, that being said, one of the choices on my worst, best SpongeBob specials is all about the Christmas spirit. So, could you read my last comments? Post it again, Zachary, because you'll just see a ton of my thumb if I do go back too much on the comments. If you choose a video game to have your own movie, which video game do you think would be best as a movie? I would be curious to see Five Nights at Freddy's as a movie. That's an odd choice, but I would. I don't know if I'd sit through it though, because it'd be a horror. And if you look at the twisted, messed up background story they made for that bloody game, you know, it's pretty bad. Apparently, it's a Christmas movie because of the Nakatomi Plaza Christmas party. I guess so. I just only joined the stream, so forgive me if you've talked about it already. What are your thoughts on Sonic redesign? I think he's looking much better, Bryce. Good question. I haven't talked about it yet. I think it's just a really improved design. I find it much more approachable now, and I would sit through it with a friend now. You know, I don't think it looks as terrible as before. So yeah, I'd give it a look, but it still doesn't interest me that much. I won't see it by myself, that's for sure. This game moved in 2020, I believe. Yeah. Oh, of course it is. Of course it is. I suppose Minecraft hasn't got a movie yet. Oh, don't. It probably is. Kill Billy says, try to do another video with. Will I do another video with Blame on George? George and I are good buddies. We just talked the other day. I think I've had him more on the channel than anyone because he's just so nice to work with. George helps me with research. He's so insightful in finding research and information, and he's just got such a brain for this stuff. You know, I envy his ability to get the interest of people and to find those mysteries. You know, you kind of think in your head, oh, I want to know that. He's just a master of this. So yeah, I definitely will, and just because it's fun to work with him. I'm not sure yet what it will be. Sometimes I want to do a collab with someone, but I just, like I was thinking of having Alpha on worst and best SpongeBob specials, but I was like, he's probably busy. He's releasing so much content nowadays that I kind of bother him half the time. But he'd definitely make it. We had him the weirdest SpongeBob, and really did enjoy having him there. So a couple of people I want to collaborate with again. Yeah, but I definitely will have George on again. I'm not quite sure on what though. Have you played any of the SpongeBob games? No, Gaming Raccoon, I haven't, but I'm going to because. Yeah, if I do worst of best SpongeBob games, that would be a ton of fun to do. We make the top 10 worst Peppa Pig, so nostalgic crossover. Why Doug for Peppa Pig? I don't think he's ever talked about it in his life. He's talked about Dora the Explorer more. I'm finding seeing you thumb people with commenting and missed it again. I probably did, sorry, Zachary, but I appreciate you tuning in anyway. Okay, see you later, Killy Billy. What was that, Fishy Lemon? I feel like the new future of movies, TV shows, music, and video games will start to come. Yeah, you know, funny thing, a side comment on that. I haven't enjoyed the music in Pokemon Sword and Shield so far. Has anyone else thought the music is kind of obnoxious? I haven't found it that good. I haven't enjoyed it that much. I kind of was wishing there was a music button in the first town I was in where I could just turn the music off and just play. Of course, sound and music, but it has to be the whole experience. Have you watched Game Theory about fan? I don't watch Game Theory, sorry. FNAF, I don't watch a lot of the mainstream channels, so you'll have to tell me about them. Different people have different tastes in horror. Josh Scorcher reportedly can't be scared by most video games because of the unflappable personality he developed in the Marines. I think that's a bit of a response of a certain kind. I was in the Navy for a short time, and it teaches you life experience, life skills, but it's still okay to be disempowered and scared. You know, that's real. That's life. That is getting up early, getting tons of chores sitting at your attention, trying to keep your feet from falling asleep for potentially like an hour, being up late at night because someone missed a tiny brush or tiny piece of dust on the windowsill. It's not learning to be disciplined. And even the freaking physical I flew through, so I don't know about that. Doesn't sound like I think he's showing off a bit. I expected more bagpipes in Sword and Shield. Well, I don't know, I'd almost prefer bagpipes to some of the songs. It's just a bit like that. Wilderness is hi. Hello to you too. The Australian Navy, what was that like? It's something I don't want to do again, and I respect people who do it. I really do. Nothing but respect. And I had a guy write in actually in my letters recently who also did some time in the Navy. It wasn't right for him, and I liked that he could have stuck it out, and I like that he chose though to be better, do what's better for his mental health. Funnily enough, I was seeing the psychologist while I was in there. I think it was a psychiatrist. He'd been there like 30 years. He was a hell of a guy. And he was saying to me, like, you'll go on to do something weird. You might teach your kids marching someday or something, but this isn't really your final job. It's going to be something weird, and funnily enough, it did turn out to be something very weird. And I'm very glad I didn't stay in the Navy, and I could have done a lot of good in there. And Braz says that to me sometimes, like, oh, you could have been so good as a psychologist and that sort of thing. I feel though, a lot of good can be done here too, just in making people happy and giving something interesting that's so calm, respite, and quiet. And anyway, that really set me off onto a long, philosophical thing. Sorry. What are some of the questions I've missed? What's your opinion on Thomas the Tank Engine? Do you have a favorite character of the show? Says Lucy. I don't have a specific favorite character, but I love the modeling and the animation style, and the fact that it's so creative, and the fact that it has been going so long. It reminds me of Sesame Street in that it's an earnest, good idea, and it really interests people of all ages, and that's because it's like so many English cartoons. It's good, it's creative, it's real, it's earnest. It's not treating its kids like they're idiots. I just love it. The Shrink was prophetic. He went on to do something great. Well, thank you, Medicine. Appreciate that. Video game movies like the Mario movie or Mortal Kombat movie. Well, what about them? Neither were fantastic. I'd say Mario movie is probably my favorite of the two. It's past 3 a.m. and 12, but I can't leave. When do you think the stream will end? No rush, says Zachary. That's nice of you to stay, Zachary. I hope I don't keep you up. I'll finish up fairly soon. I don't like to ever go past the hour mark. I'm just like, oh god, people must be so bored of me. Hey, the Tails chick, how you doing? Serial Experiments Lane, have you ever heard of it? Yeah, that's an anime, Joshua Telfer. We, just back in my old anime days, about 14 years ago, back in the anime club, we watched a bit of Serial Experiments Lane. I think we're talking about the same thing, because I do remember that one back long ago. What's this best Simpsons line, Mr. Strider? Kill his acorns and make him watch. I'll give you the thrashing of a lifetime. I love most Mr. Burns' lines. Have you ever heard... I'll tell you the best one from Futurama. There's no scientific consensus that life is important. That is just so intelligent right there, in that we have to decide to make it important, and that's a beautiful thing, I think. A lot of accelerators, says Royce. Hello. I'm a live streamer. Have you heard of a 2000 Surprisingly Dark Hot Wheels show? Not really. YouTube will start to shut down on December 10th, all because of the discontinuation of their brands. What? What are you talking about there, Fishy Lemon Dude? Are you starting a conspiracy? Geez, I hope. Until I see the stock part prices go from their insanely high prices to slightly lower, I'll start to believe that I'm in trouble. I'm sure it could come up any day, but hopefully I'm not in any trouble yet. Thoughts on Horizon Zero Dawn? I haven't seen that one either, sorry, Tails Chick. I'm not giving you very comprehensive answers yet. Have you ever seen a wild cockatoo? All the time, Sama. When I go into my forest on my runs, ton of cockatoos. There's like the cockatoo heaven. If you check out my Instagram, I've posted a few pictures of just cockatoos everywhere. They'll be jumping around in crowds and looking for worms and stuff, and I pity the worms are there. I pity the worms. Have you seen a series or property ever been swelled by fans being toxic before you got into it? Szechuan sauce and that sort of thing with Rick and Morty and just the general. No, it's not the fans. I don't generally care that much about the fans, because I try to enjoy it in a vacuum, which is hard at sometimes. I definitely get that. For Rick and Morty, the nihilism, just the endless worshipping and the self-congratulatory nihilism, which I get is meant to be showing that Rick is flawed and stuff, and that Rick isn't meant to be the hero, but he's just so worshipped for his intelligence that I find it really exhausting and just tiring after a while. I'm just like, I'm over this. But so much creativity to it. So that, I would say, maybe the fans kind of affected me on it. But anyway, have you done... can you read some of my comments? Mike the Ice Warrior. Well, I can read this one, Mike, because it's what I saw. That said, don't watch any of my Thomas the Tank Engine fan fictions. It's a little depressing, cringy. Lucy, contact me if you do have a comprehensive understanding of Thomas the Tank Engine episodes, because if we don't have too many problems with these in 2020 of these kids like me reviewing kids shows resulting in thinking it's made for kids, then I'd love to get your ideas on a worst and best or darkest Thomas the Tank Engine list. Let me just Twitter me and let me know. What are your thoughts on the new Sonic movie trailer? Asked the Gaming Raccoon. As I mentioned, I like it. It's fine. Excuse me. Yeah, I wasn't that fond to begin with, but I do like his new redesign. I think it makes him a much more appealing character. Main character looks fine. I like the fact that I'll be seeing Jim Carrey. I don't know if I'll tune in for it or not, but I have a friend who wants to see it. I'll go with him. I wish you could put GIFs in chat. Well, I always like your GIFs, Medicine Monday. So, you played Skyrim? I played Skyrim a lot, the tallest chick. I think I mentioned this before on my live stream, but I don't remember a thing about Skyrim. That's the problem. Is that I played Oblivion and Morrowind, and I played Morrowind recently, actually. And I remember both so well, but Skyrim, I remember so little of that game, and I've pumped like 100 hours into it, and that's when I don't remember anything of a game I've played, like 6 months after I played it, I feel like something's gone wrong there. You've almost just gone into a Skinnerbox phase or something, so it's just, no, I just don't get much memorability or value or living out of Skyrim, so I don't play it much anymore. What are your thoughts, Tall's Chick? Well, I definitely get the appeal because I loved Oblivion and I loved Morrowind. I love the personality in them. I love their kind of, in Oblivion, this kind of fantasy setting that's very upbeat and very, just very enjoyable. Kind of like opening a book. Morrowind has this very aggressive, hostile feel. It feels more reflective of our own world because it has issues like racism and politics and just people being petty, and it feels very real. So I liked that too. I remember saying you were half Canadian in your Worst Canadian Cartoons video. I live there. Whereabouts in the country are your Canadian ancestors from? Vancouver Island. I think, yeah, wait, that was my friend, Vancouver Island. Victoria, mainly Victoria. They're out in the farms now. Which top 10 do you want to make? Asked Mike. I would say I'd like to make, the SpongeBob special I'm looking forward to. That's in production now. Thank you to all my team for helping so much with that. It's just wonderful. I've got the best team in the world. I really do. I'm so thankful for everyone who's helped. Even my freaking captioners, Jadrek and Tristan, are fantastic. I try to be as good a I don't like to use the word boss, but good a person who helps as I can to them, because God, they're so good to me. So good to me. What do you think of Jazza? I haven't heard of Jazza, sorry, Sama. Pufferfish eating carrot is still a meme. Oh, it sounds like a good meme. Hi to you too, World Recording. Right, I'm going to sleep. I'm hoping you make it to one of your streams again, Strider. But if not, I always look forward to your videos. We'll see you later then, Lucy. You have a good night's sleep. Or good morning sleep. Is Star Butterfly really a positive influence on girls? I think so, Carter. I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with her. I think she's empowering. I think she's kind and friendly. I think but you don't think she's, I guess because she's aggressive maybe, or that she's hyperactive, you could say, but that's not because of her gender. That's just who Star is, and that's always the impression I get. So I would say she is, yes, Carter. Rustic Beard, what are your thoughts on SMG4? Metarunner, by the way, and America's in it too. And oh yeah, I don't tune into the SMG4 channel before. I haven't until Robin mentioned it, and I looked through the first episode of Metarunner, and I'm happy to see an Australian team. Like, obviously a lot of money's gone into it. Frankly, I think the SMG4 crew can afford it, and they can afford to pay my friend better. But I'm really glad to see that opportunity to my friend. I'm glad to see. It's not for me. It's not for me. It's not even for my generation, I don't think, because it's people who, really want to glorify gaming and stuff. And it's an interesting idea, I guess. But I guess that was me 15 years ago, but not so much now. And I suspect that they mostly are aiming at the 13 to 24 crowd. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Absolutely nothing wrong with the show. I've no problems with it. And I like the really creative animation and design, and I like the different settings. I love the tropical setting for my friend Robin's Theo character. Hershey's or Cadbury? Honestly, good question, Medicine. Honestly, I think I'd go Hershey's, but Cadbury's good too. But half the time, Hershey's doesn't even show up in Australia. So, because I love cookies and cream Hershey's, this is delicious. But I don't know. I don't have to eat that much candy anymore anyway. Unless I'm going in the mountains, I'll take a few. But I haven't been running in the mountains lately. It's so damn hot. What are your thoughts on Mrs. Monopoly? Angry Mustache 9 asks. Well, I don't know Mrs. Monopoly, but I do know that I actually play Monopoly every day on my tablet while I'm doing a workout of either cardio running or elliptical. I'll play like a couple of games of Monopoly. Oh, thanks, Carter. What are your thoughts on Morg's mum? I don't know who that is. Oh, do you mean Morty's mum? Morty's mum, I think she's one of the worst characters in the show. Most unpleasant. It's not bad in that she's badly written, it's just the most unlikable. That's a better word for it. Most unlikable in the show. Let's see. How does Star stack up against the magical girls, princesses in the parodies? She's fine. I don't even see her as a magical girl. I just see her as a... I don't know. I really like Star, but I couldn't fully express why. Oh, it's Mum. Tell them we are cooking for Christmas. Pavlova, an Australian Christmas icon that you can attempt. Yeah, my mum wants to come over next time I do a cooking, so I don't think I'll get her to have to come over at midnight, though. We'll do it a bit earlier. Yeah, that'll be fun. What are your favourite Steven Universe episode? Off Colours and Lars's Head, and the court trial. But you can see my thoughts on Worst and Best Steven Universe episodes with Leah for that. Leah gives a much more nuanced, intelligent opinion on some of them. Those three really come from the heart for me, but she thinks Rosa Scabbard, and I totally get that. I would say that's, there was a sensible choice in Best, that Rosa Scabbard would be certainly one that deserves it the most. That sounds amazing. Yes, it does. Simpsons or Futurama? Probably Futurama, to be honest, Locke. Yeah, I'd say Futurama. I wouldn't have wanted it to continue any longer, though. What is that ringing? Sorry, this is probably a bit late. I'm going to jump to the front. There's a lot of construction going on, so we get a lot of the guys just backing up their stuff and that sort of thing. It's still the quietest hour to do this, though. Do you feel like this mall is never ending? It's one of the biggest in Australia, and I love it. I know it backwards, to be honest, but I certainly like it. I like that it is nice and long, and it's air conditioned, and I can just walk as long as I want here. I love the band known as The Police. I haven't heard of them, Carter. I should finish soon because I'm losing my voice, but I'm really enjoying this, so I'm going to do another couple more minutes. Thank you for everyone who tuned in at this crazy hour, by the way. Appreciate it. What do you think your main age demographic is? I'm 12, but what does most of your viewers age? 18 to 30, to be honest. And people over 30, 45, about 60-40, men, women, 60% men, I'd say. I like to say that. It sometimes gets to 70, but I like to, about 65 men, but I try to keep that balance. That's why I do more girl stuff sometimes, or female stuff, I shouldn't say girls, but generally aimed at females, or stuff that women can relate to more because they grew up with it more. Do you know that Charles Martinet, the voice of Mario, voices a dragon in Skyrim? Good. I could never have pointed him out, though, because I so used to hearing him as Mario. I'm a rare 35-year-old woman in... Oh, thank you, Maddie. I appreciate that. Well, actually, there's more 35-year-old women than there are under 18s, so... under 13 to 18. So, and I really appreciate it. I hope I can give something calming and pleasant that you enjoy. Even though I'm talking about cartoons, but you probably enjoy cartoons and Disney as much as I do. So I really appreciate it. Have you ever watched a lot of Livestreams from Etika? I haven't heard of that. Sorry, Fishy. As American, my mind was blown to discover how deep, wide, and old the magical girl genre is in Japan. Most Westerners only know of the tip of the iceberg. Absolutely, Autobots. And I heard a really good Twitter comment the other day, which was just today, I think, which was that in anime you hear a lot more of the inner monologue and thoughts of a character, but Western animation very rarely reflects on a person's thoughts. And I was like, you can spend an entire episode listening to Goku or Frieza's thoughts or whoever you choose. Or certainly in Evangelion, God, they never shut up in Evangelion about their own thoughts and insecurities. Not that that's a bad thing, but it's an interesting change. Well, I better finish here, guys, because I'm down to 4% battery power, but this has been an absolute pleasure, guys. I really appreciate this. Anyway, I'll talk to you later. Apologies if I missed your question. It's been a pleasure.